Okay, we'll start out with the slideshow. Oh wait, I have to remember screen share first. Otherwise you won't get to see the slideshow. Okay. Okay, this one is one we will. Oh, wait a minute. Here. Wrong place. Okay, I'm going to stop this share. Oh, sorry. I stopped the share right when it shifted to what I wanted. So here we go again. All right. Okay. Now let's start. Welcome to Raising Happy Kids Zoom Show, episode 48, starting with the one rule to raising happy kids. During this 1 hour Zoom show, I focus on sharing tips and lessons on the one rule to raising happy kids. Each episode has at least one example of the one rule in action, demonstrating how it helps you raise a happy child. Then, when we have guests, we have Q&A and discussion. When I talk about raising happy kids or creating harmony with kids, I bring up the one rule. The one rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. Using the one rule means you find agreement. That's the rule. You find a solution that everyone likes. You found agreement. You found harmony. Knowing and following the one rule is all you really need to create harmony between you and your kids. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, use the one rule. I learned this strategy from 3-year-old children. I was teaching them a complex conflict resolution strategy, actually intended for adults, and they taught me this. So don't think you're in for a rough time. It's simple, it's easy, it's powerful and effective. It works if you use it. The one rule: start strong. You have decided that you really want harmony with your child. That sounds so good, right? Everyone feeling good and getting along. You've decided that you do not want to make your child do what they do not want to do, and you do not want to do what you do not want to do, and you are going to make this work. You have decided that you want to use the one rule to make this happen. This is going to become your new habit. You remember that when you use the one rule, you are sharing the following messages with your kids. I want us all to be happy. We are each important. Together we can solve our problems. I believe in you. I love you. To create this new habit, you are going to start with yourself and what you want. You decide that you are going to let how you feel about a situation determine whether you agree with it or not. If it feels good, then you can agree with it. If not, you cannot. Ask yourself, is this situation okay with me just as it is? If yes, good. If no, what would have to change, be different, so that I could feel good about it? Maybe several versions of this situation would feel fine with you, maybe only one. This exercise, this practice, helps you make a habit of following the one rule. No matter what age your kids are, this exercise helps ensure a strong start and makes following the one rule so much easier. Here is something that might make following the one rule even easier. Recently, I asked myself a question. What do I want people to feel when they are connecting with my work? I definitely want them to feel good about themselves. Then the following answer appeared to my surprise and delight. I want people to realize that they are already using the one rule. That understanding surprised me, and as more and more of it was revealed to me, it delighted me. Of course, people are already using the one rule. I am not teaching them anything they don't know. I'm not teaching them anything strange to them. I'm just helping them expand their use of something they use daily without thinking about it. They use it. You use it. Every time you come to a decision inside of yourself, you're using the one rule. Most likely you had to consider several options or possibilities to reach that decision, even if it just took you a few seconds for you to agree with yourself. That is what I want. You also use the one rule whenever you agree with someone else. Together you come to a decision, an agreement. Yes, tomorrow I'll go to the auto parts store after I get my nails done. Even with your kids, you're using the one rule. You're coming to agreements. Think about it. Of course you are. You're just not thinking of it as a rule, as something required. So at times, you are not coming to agreement. I'm here to help you think of coming to agreement as required, as a rule, as the one rule. You just expand the situations where you come to agreement until coming to agreement is just what you do and your kids do. It is the rule you and your kids follow. When you use the one rule, you are creating harmony. Your kids are creating harmony. You're becoming used to creating harmony, familiar with how good it feels to everyone involved. One point to be clear on is that even if a situation seems complicated and it seems that it impossible to find a solution that everyone involved can feel good about, it is still possible. The important thing to remember is that there is a way for things to work out so that everyone involved gets to feel good. Keep that in mind. This has been my experience whenever I have made this effort. When you actually start working with your kids using the one rule, helping them follow their interests is one of the easiest ways for you to start. You can understand that, right? It is also one of the most beneficial things you can do for your kids. Why is it good for your kids to do what interests them? One primary reason is that their interest is a key to helping them become the best versions of themselves that they can become. When we do what interests us, we are very engaged and focused. Think about doing something that interests you. When we are engaged and focused, what we do and produce tends to be of much better quality than if we were not interested. Interest helps result in excellence. An even more important result of being engaged and focused is that our whole being is involved in what interests us. That is why we are engaged and focused. We are experiencing harmony, inner harmony. That is a good reason to allow and encourage our kids to do what they are interested in doing. I have observed children doing what really interests them, and they become peaceful, harmonious people, even if they were not before. Now, it does not mean that everything that interests our kids is going to always interest them. They may be interested for 10 minutes or 10 hours or 10 days or 10 years or even a lifetime. The point is following their interests, not the specific thing or experience that interests them. So if they ask for your help, please help your kids follow their interests. If for any reason you really do not want to do what they are asking you to do, that is a perfect time to use the one rule. Another reason for helping your kids follow their interests is one that is taking care of you too. When they are eager to do something instead of resisting doing it, you do not have to encourage them to do it or insist that they do it, let alone force them to do it. Think of how much of your time and energy could be available for you to use as you wish. Helping them follow their interests is actually the one rule in action, taking care of you and your kids. I am glad you are here. Let's see. Oh. Huh. Okay. It seems that someone was trying to get in, but it didn't alert me. All right. Let's see what's going to happen next. Okay. I got the message. All right. Now, one thing I wanted to share with you next. Let's see. It's for something I'm putting together for everyone. Let's see, let me come up here. Okay, I'm going to share with you first the list of problems. I created this list some time ago, but I think it's going to work. I have problems adults have with kids, problems kids have with kids, and problems kids have with adults. And unless we have guests today, I'm going to be sharing some things with the guardians where they have a problem issue they're dealing with, and they come up with different solutions. So here's a list. Now, this is something, as I'm going through the stories, if you like, you can think about these things in terms of your own life. Here's a kind of short list: problems adults have with kids, tantrums, bedtime, food, disobedience, interrupting, hurting others, aggression, ignoring you, whining, chores, rudeness. These are problems I've noticed that adults have with kids. Problems kids have with kids, oversharing, hurting, grabbing things, bullying, teasing. And problems kids have with adults, bullying, hurting, punishment, name calling, criticizing, blaming, judging, lecturing, ordering. So let's go on to the next. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if you've come across the Guardian stories. Okay, I'm gonna screen share again. All right. Wait a minute. Just a minute, I'm going to set this up better. Okay. Okay. Now let's see. I was once taught how to do this, but I don't remember what I was taught. So anyway, do the best I can here. Now, screen share. Okay, this was before the Happy Kids show. There was Karen Rice's Family Zoom Station, and this was episode 17. Homeschooling today. We were focusing on that in those days. And this is from the Guardians, Sibling Rivals Go Peaceful. The Guardians They help kids at school. Let's see. All right. Oh my goodness. This is, I went too fast. I didn't realize what was going to be happening here. I didn't. Okay. The Guardians were having their first online meeting after their fundraising event with the PTSA, the Parent Teacher Student Association. There were too many new Guardians to meet at Kathy and Timmy's. Besides, they were all very busy. After the event, Kathy started giving classes online and in person for kids and parents. She was even going to be giving them to teachers and other staff at Timmy's school. And now she was getting requests from parents and teachers in other locations, even other towns, other states, and another country. The Guardians were her support staff. They coached kids who wanted more practice than they got in Kathy's weekly classes. Guardian Mitch was the first one to speak up. I want some help. Could we focus on getting along with brothers and sisters today? Sure, said Pam. Does that sound good to everyone? Everyone agreed. So what's up, Mitch? Asked Jeff. Well, it feels kind of strange and embarrassing, but it's my family. Ever since I joined the Guardians, I've been having trouble with my big brother and sister. What kind of trouble, Mitch? Asked Jen. My brother's always saying that now I think I'm such a big shot. They both call me superhero. They say, ooh, here comes the superhero. It hurts my feelings. Let's break into working partners and see what we come up with, said Pam. Okay, I just want to let you know here that this is the part where you can think about something that is going on in your life that you would like it to be different. Use the one rule to find a harmonious solution. You're going to notice in this story that there are several possibilities come up, and that's what can happen for you too. That's why in the first slideshow I said, if there's a possibility that feels good, or there might even be several possibilities that would feel good. So anyway, they're going to come up with several in this story. Pam had sort of become the leader of the Guardians. It worked for her and everyone else too. She easily and naturally took the leader's position. Everyone was glad she did this. Having someone to do this helped things go smoothly. Each team went into a private online space where they could figure out their demo. When they were done, they went back to the main online meeting space. After they were all back in the main meeting area, Pam asked, who would like to go first? We would, said Jeff and Elaine together. Of course, they are brother and sister. Okay, said Jeff, I'm the narrator, so I'll explain what we did, then we'll do the demonstration. We decided that Elaine would be the one whose feelings got hurt. Okay, here's our demo. It really hurts my feelings when you call me a superhero. I wish you wouldn't do that. You are a superhero, aren't you? I mean, Now that you're a guardian, doesn't that make you a superhero? No, I'm just a helper. And the way you say it is what hurts my feelings. It makes me feel like you think it's a bad thing for me to do. Does it matter what I think? I guess it does. Well, I really do think you are a superhero. I was really surprised when I heard that you were a guardian. Maybe it's the way Mom told me about you joining. She said she thought I should do that too. And why didn't I join? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. You could join if you want to. I don't want to. That's the problem. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough because I don't want to help like you do. I'm sorry about that. I've learned during our coaching sessions that it's important to do what we want to do no matter what other people think. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you too for being in the Guardians. I just don't want to. Then it's good you're not. You might like to join in the coaching for kids that don't want to be in the Guardians. What's that about? Well, we've learned something called the one rule. It helps us solve problems fast so that everyone feels good. Like we just did? Exactly like we just did. I think I'll check it out. Is it hard to learn? No, it's super easy. Do you want to do this on your own, or would you like a guardian to help you? I'll take the guardian's help. I still want to call you a superhero. That's okay now. It will make me feel good now. I just thought maybe we do have a superpower. I think the one rule is our superpower. Now you'll have that superpower too. That's our demo, said Jeff. Great, said Pam. Next? I'll go next, said Lacey. The rest of you are in the family meeting, so I figured out one on my own. Okay, said Pam. This is the first thing I thought when I heard your situation, Mitch. This is just going to be me playing you and working things out in myself. I made some notes so I don't forget. I wish I didn't get so upset when my brother and sister tease me. I wonder why it hurts my feelings. I just remembered something. It was something new we learned at our last session with Kathy. What was it? How did it go? Oh, yeah. It's not up to other people to make my life better. It's up to me. If I want to have things go better, I need to have better self-talk. Instead of getting upset when they call me a superhero, I could ignore them, or I could say thanks. I could actually feel good that they call me a superhero. I kind of am. I help kids every day. I help kids stay safe. And with the one rule, I help them feel good about themselves and their life. Oh, yeah. Kathy also said for us to think mostly about things that make us feel good when we think them. I'm going to do that starting now. And when anyone says I'm a superhero, I'm going to feel glad and maybe even thank them. That's my demo, said Lacey. Awesome, Lacey, said Pam. Now we'll do the family meeting demo. I'm the mom, John is the dad, Jen, Ken, and Timmy are the kids. So what's this family meeting thing about? Asked Dad. It's something I learned about in the Guardians. Guardians, guardians, guardians. Stop it, kids, shouted Mom. Go on, Mitch. Well, that's what this meeting is about. I'm tired of being teased for being in the Guardians. Guard, stop that. So what do you want to do about this? Asked Dad. I want to have a one rule session, all of us. What's a one rule session? Asked Mom. This is what I do with kids every day. I help them find a solution that they all like. Then they agree on that solution. So what solution would you like? I'd like them to stop teasing me. Now what? We decide if we all like that solution. If we agree that that is a solution that we all like, then we agree that that is the solution we want. And then we're done. This is dumb. That's enough of that. What solution would you like then? I just want to keep teasing you, superhero big shot. You're going to be in big trouble after we're done here. You always take his side. I'm always the one to get in trouble. He never gets in trouble. It's what you do that gets you in trouble, young man. Don't go blaming your brother. Let's at least see if we can find a solution we can all agree on. The kids at school do it every day. I guess I should have started by telling you what Coach Kathy told us about the one rule. We are each important. And then I point to each of you and say, you are important, and you are important, and you are important, and you are important, and I am important. I would have started with I'm important, said his brother. That's a good way to start too. Then she says that we each deserve to feel good, and now we're going to figure out a way for this to happen. Then we do. We find something that everyone likes. That's how we all get to feel good. So far, we've had 2 ideas, but not everyone likes the ideas. I'd stop teasing you if Dad would take me, only me, when he goes fishing. That sounds like a good idea, son. Wait, I want to do something special if I'm going to stop teasing too. I want to help you, Mom, figure out the menus for the week, and I want to help with the shopping and fixing the food. What about cleaning up and doing the dishes? You want to help me with that too? Sure. Well, let's give it a try. So you're going fishing with Dad, and you're going to help Mom with the food, and you're both going to stop teasing me about anything, right? Right. Mom, Dad, does this all sound good to you too? Yes, son, you've done a great job here tonight. Yes, you really are the guardian of our family. It seems like things are going to be better than ever. That's our demo. Thanks, guys, said Mitch. You've given me great things to think about. You have really done a great job here today, said Coach Kathy. I took lots of notes. I'll do a quick review. In the last demo, you saw an example of working with your whole family and using the one rule. Now you might understand more of why your brother and sister were teasing you. Maybe they both want to do, maybe they do, no, maybe they both do want special attention from your parents. You saw how important it is to tell everyone in the beginning that they are each important and point to each one saying you're important. and they each deserve to feel good, and that you are going to find out how to do that. After that was done, everything shifted and the family found a solution fast. So working with your whole family is an option. Or you could just figure it out in your own mind like Lacey did. That's just as useful. Finding and maintaining your own feel-good space inside. Thinking the thoughts that help you do that. Maybe you could take a look at her notes if that would help you. Or you could talk with your brother like the demo with Jeff and Elaine. There might be something you can work out with him that could solve the whole situation. So Mitch, how do you feel now? I don't feel so lost, and I sure don't feel embarrassed, said Mitch. I know there are many ways I could solve this. I feel more hopeful. You know that if you need one of us to help you, just ask, said Pam. Thanks, all of you, said Mitch. You've been a lot of help. I'm sure that by our next meeting, this will be fixed. Sounds good, Mitch, said Pam. Is that it, Kathy? Does anyone have anything else? I'm done, said Kathy. I just want to say you all did a great job. You are great guardians. I'm so proud to have you on my team. We'll meet again next week, said Pam. Have a great week, guardians and Coach Kathy. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's see. I just learned something new about stopping the screen share. Okay, so this is to give you an idea of when you're facing any of the problems, either the ones that I listed or other ones that come up in your life. There could be a number of ways that things will work out for everybody involved. Okay, I was planning to share one more guardian story for some more examples of this working. Okay. Oh dear. This is really something. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. The other times I tried getting the SlideShare going, I was having difficulty. And this time when I didn't want it to start, it just like jumped right into it. All right, let's see. This time I'm okay. All right, now I'm going to screen share, and I set it up so that it wouldn't go through the slideshow, the introductory slideshow. I didn't realize it was going to do that, but that's because I didn't check it out last night. I just put it up so I could have it available. Okay, here we go. Okay, the story I'm about to tell you is a slightly different approach to finding harmony than I usually focus on. Today, the focus is on kids finding harmony with adults. We also look at a different aspect of the one rule. The one rule still helps them find harmony. Kathy, my mom wants me to come to the next Parent-Teacher-Student Association meeting. Oh, that came up in the last story. And tell them about the idea for the fundraiser. She thinks it's a great idea, but wants me to explain it to everyone. I'm feeling very nervous. I'm not used to talking with groups of adults, said Jenny. You'll do great, Jen, said Pam. The girls had stopped by to talk with Kathy. She was their one rule coach, after all. And since she was an adult, they figured she'd have some helpful ideas so Jenny could feel confident sharing the fundraiser idea with all those adults. Jenny's mom said there'd be at least 15 people, including parents and teachers. I'm especially worried about talking to teachers. I've been pretty lucky and had friendly teachers, but they are not all like that. I hope there are only friendly teachers and parents at the meeting, said Jenny. They were all sitting on the porch, Kathy, Timmy, Jenny, and Pam. This was not a regular meeting day when all the guardians would be there. Pam and Jenny were just walking Timmy home. They hoped it would be a good time to talk with Kathy. It was. Well, I certainly understand what you're talking about, Jenny. I sometimes have to deal with very rude people in the restaurant. I always remember the one rule, said Kathy. The one rule, said Pam. What does the one rule have to do with talking with rude adults? They are not going to even try to be agreeable. You might be right about that, but there is something you don't know about the one rule and about rude adults. I've never explained how we learn to use the one rule with 2-year-olds, said Kathy. 2-year-olds, interrupted Pam. I don't get it. What do they have to do with grumpy adults? I'll explain, said Kathy, because they actually have a lot to do with each other. When we are using the one rule with 2-year-olds, we have to do most of the work. We have to try to agree with the 2-year-old, and if we can't, we have to help them choose something we like before the 2-year-old is determined to get or do something we don't want. Rude adults are kind of like 2-year-olds. We have to do most of the work, trying to agree with what they want. Just like 2-year-olds, they don't know how to even want to find agreement. We are the examples of the one rule in action to both of those groups, 2-year-olds and grumpy adults. I do get it, exclaimed Pam. They get to see how good it feels to have someone see their side of things and consider what they want is important. Oh, I get it. I get it too. I can just think of any grumpy adult as a 2-year-old who doesn't know better and be an example of a caring person to them, said Jenny. Yes, said Kathy. And the other thing is that probably when these adults were small, people did not treat them kindly. And that's why they developed the habit of being rude or whatever. Maybe using the one rule this way might help them feel better about life and other people. At least that's what's in my mind. When is your meeting, Jenny? I think it's next Thursday, at least that's what my mom thinks. She is going to find out for sure. Well, at our next guardians meeting, let's act out talking with adults, said Kathy. I was thinking the same thing, said Pam. Me too, said Jenny. We'll do it, said Kathy. I'll explain to everyone what I explained to you, and then we'll do our practice. It feels like building a bridge between people. It feels expansive. It's what Ken did when he reached out to Jeff and invited him to be a guardian, said Pam. Yes, said Jenny, and that has worked out great. I feel better already, and I'm sure I'll feel great by the time of the meeting. I'm sure you will, Jenny, said Kathy. You're an awesome coach, Kathy, said Pam. Well, we better go. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Timmy. A few days later, the guardians were all gathered at Kathy's and Timmy's. Jenny told them about her upcoming meeting with the PTSA. Everyone was very excited about this. Pam explained how they decided to talk with Kathy about creating harmony with adults, even rude, grumpy adults. Everyone agreed that that was a problem sometimes. Then Kathy explained what she had told Jenny and Pam and Timmy about using the one rule with 2-year-olds and rude adults. She also explained that they had decided that if everyone felt good about it, this day they would practice finding harmonious solutions when dealing with adults. She said she'd been thinking about this since they met a few days ago. She knows that we can all understand that adults who are not feeling happy and friendly are feeling bad inside of themselves. Some of these adults have been feeling bad for a long time. That's why they are rude or mean. Right, said Jeff. Everyone knew he spoke from experience. People who feel good inside, people who are happy, don't want to hurt other people in any way, said Kathy. So maybe we can be a bit of goodness in their lives if they come into our lives. It could make a good difference in their lives, maybe even a good big difference. The one rule can help us do that. So let's do this. Yes, shouted all the guardians. Then they partnered up and went to create their demos. Okay, guardians, who goes first? Asked Pam. I want to go first, said Jenny, since this is all because of me. Jeff is my partner. Maybe your need started this, but we all need it, said Kathy, even me. Our problem is a grumpy father who doesn't like the idea of the one rule for a fundraising event. He thinks they should have a carnival. Here's what we came up with. No way, we always have a carnival. Everyone loves it. I love the carnival too, said Jenny. Everyone has fun there, going to try their luck at the different booths and eating all the delicious carnival food. We have to have a carnival, but I think we can have both. You're a crazy little girl. Do you know how much work is involved in having the carnival? No way can we do both. I know it takes lots of people, lots of work to do the carnival. This won't take very much work. We have the place. We can do it here at the school. There's almost no setup involved. Lots of the kids are interested, even some of the teachers and parents. It doesn't sound good to me. I understand that, but think of how much money we can raise with just a little work. Every student who participates is going to have their whole family come to see them, and friends and neighbors. All those people will buy tickets and goodies during intermission. We'll make a fortune. Kids love to act, to be on stage. They will only need one day to learn how to do this and to perform at night. We could even do a few of these, inviting kids and their families from all over town. Kids from other schools already like the idea of the Guardians. Well, the Guardians is a good group of kids. I guess that is a good idea. You're right about making lots of money. Maybe we can use some of that for the carnival. Yes, that is a great idea. Then Jenny and Jeff took a bow and everyone clapped and hooted. Wow, said Kathy. Awesome use of the one rule for 2-year-olds. We'll have to think of a name for that version of the one rule. We want to go next, said Timmy, Elaine and I. Elaine is Jeff's younger sister and in the same class with Timmy. Here's our problem. Well, my problem. Talking with a mean, bossy teacher during lunch. Here's what we came up with. Elaine is the teacher. Timmy, get over here and sit down. You know you're not supposed to sit on that wall. Oh, Mrs. Jones, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Don't you lie to me, young man. No one is supposed to sit on that wall. I don't lie, Mrs. Jones. I just never sat on the wall before and it looked like fun. I'm sorry to have bothered you by doing that. Fun? Jeremy fell off that wall and cracked his head open. He was my student, and can you imagine? They blame me for that. His mother, his father, his whole family. They've never stopped blaming me for that. So no one sits on that wall ever. I don't ever want to catch you on that wall again. Do you hear me? Yes, Mrs. Jones, I won't ever sit on that wall again. I'm glad you explained how dangerous it can be. Well, yes, I'm glad you understand. You can go and play now. I'm sorry I yelled at you. You go play. Timmy and Elaine took their bow. Everyone clapped and hooted. Great demo, you two. She sure is mean. You were great with her, Timmy. I don't think I'll ever be afraid of her again, said Timmy. Me either, said Elaine. You both did a fantastic job, said Kathy. Come here, Timmy. She gave her son a big hug. I love seeing how strong and wise you are. It's not easy to deal with such really rude and even mean people. I'm so glad that all of you are understanding how to use the one rule with grumpy adults. I'm glad you're not grumpy, Mom, said Tim. Me too, said Kathy. Who's next? I want to go next, said Ken. I have some good news. And because of that, I want to do something different. I want all of you who want to be my partners in this next demo. As you all know, I'm very involved in scouting. Well, I'm invited to speak at a scouting conference. I've been thinking that I'd like to suggest a new badge, the one rule. Wow, Ken. So I want to practice my presentation. This is just going to be the first time. I'll probably want to practice it lots of times. After everyone was settled, I have been invited here to present an idea for a new badge. Even Cub Scouts could start earning this badge. It could go all the way to Eagle Scouts. I learned about it by joining a club called the Guardians. We help keep kids from being bullied and from becoming bullies. I want to propose that we have a scout badge for the one rule. Then Ken bowed. That's as far as I can go today. Everyone clapped and shouted, "Great work, Ken. You go, Ken, our hero." Awesome, Ken, said Kathy. We'll definitely all work on this. You're going to give a stellar proposal. Awesome idea. Guardians, I am so proud of you. On with the show. Who's next? Okay. All right. Well, I guess Batul never managed to get in on Zoom. So during the next week, whenever there's a problem between you and your kids, think about the one rule and think about, even if you just do it inside yourself, like Lacey did in that example, or as I suggest in the starting strong with the one rule, think in yourself how that situation might work so that it could work for everyone, whether it's just something you have to change inside yourself or whether there are actual things you come up with for other people to do too. Of course, if you're actually working with the one rule, then you'll decide together whether it's a good idea or not. And really, one of the main things is committing to finding agreement. And starting out this way helps you be someone that is committed to that. And it will also give you a lot of ideas, get your mind working in that way, so that when you actually do start working with your kids, you have already turned your focus toward finding a harmonious solution. And so you won't be fighting with yourself inside about it. You will have found harmony inside of yourself about this. And that is a good way to start, but not required, because the children have this in them a lot. It's strong in them. And so that even if it's not so strong in you, they can help you too if you want to go that way. Well, thank you for being part of this, and I wish you well and have a good week. Okay.